The idea of doing an exhibition was about showing people how that change has impacted households, and then really showing them real housing examples for both how neighborhoods could change, how cities could change.
The exhibition starts with this focus on the demographics and the households and who we really are today. And when you look at that information, you realize that our families really are fluid. We are no longer that typical American household of a nuclear family. We want people to realize that there are actually quite a few different options out there now, but they're not things that most people know about.
And in the exhibit, we pull out some key demographic, social, and economic changes that have happened over the last 25 years, some real key trends that have affected the household.
What if we asked our housing to be adaptable and flexible, just like our families are? And the result was the open house. 3 flexible, individual spaces, 2 full baths, a kitchen, actually a walk-in closet and a laundry room, and do that all within 1,000 square feet. And make it actually work for adults who are willing to share, as well as an extended multi-generational family. And empty nesters who say, I want to downsize, is really fantastic. That one space can do all that without having to change any walls at all. It's just the furnishings inside that essentially adapt. The first initial scenario with the 4 unrelated adults, what we really wanted to do was make sure that everybody had the utmost privacy. The larger space, A and B, actually become during the day, for example, as a larger space, or in the evening. So say the roommates wanted to have, a party, they could open up their walls and share their space. So instead of the house really just being 1,000 square feet, we like to think of it as 1,700 or 2,000 square feet, because each space can really double or triple as something else. And then we had a separate room area that functioned in the daytime again as a living area, but in the night could also function as a bedroom.
Second iteration of the open house, we wanted to make sure that the design supported a multi-generational household where there was a single mother with her child, and the mother, maybe they're not always there, the child, maybe there's shared custody. We want the space to be as flexible and open as possible, but all the people are related together in the home.
Scenario 2, we have the one space dedicated to the grandmother. She's got her own bathroom, has direct access then to the kitchen. And she has her own back entrance, so it functions as a private retreat if she wants to treat it that way. Otherwise, she's completely connected with her daughter's space and the child's space. And what we did was create the child space in the back room that it was closest to the walk-in closet, so they could actually have the rest of the house to themselves and kind of cordon off that child's room, which actually allowed both the mother and the grandmother to each access the kitchen space if the child was asleep. And both of the adults in that situation have direct access to a bathroom.
The final iteration of the open house, we really wanted to make sure we were capturing this huge social change that's happened in the last 25 years, which is the baby boomers aging, which often is maybe they need less space, maybe they need some support for their income.
So in the last scenario, the one space that was before had acted as the grandmother's space really becomes the separate accessory apartment. So by creating the studio apartment, they gain extra income if they decide to rent it out, or, if in a future time they need a live-in healthcare worker, that space could be, made directly available to that person. Their separate apartment then also still contains, bunk beds, so if their grandkids come or they do have a guest, their dining room essentially functions as a guest room. So they really have the best of both worlds. There are new products that are not standard typical houses or townhomes or apartments. The real idea is to have people to kind of expand their ideas and expand their options.
There's certainly no evidence that the trends that are highlighted in the Making Room exhibition are reversing and going back to the nuclear family household, and it really just needs to be embraced so that our housing stock can meet our real needs.